Hello everybody and welcome back again to the chassis variant series of myself, Critical Rocket, and we're going to be looking again at the last of the Jagermech variants, for when I was recording these anyway, the Double D. The Double D was the first Jagermech to make use of lostech, specifically at the time of the helm memory core recovery. The DD is a particularly powerful variant of the S, essentially, upgrading the standard AC5s to Ultra variants and changing the medium lasers to Pulse variants. The saving on weight with an XL engine allowed them to add a little bit of extra armour via half a ton through ferro fibrous, and the mech also had a bit more AC2 ammunition. However, the heatsinks remained singles, which still means it could generate a fair amount of heat, especially with the pulse lasers and the UAC5s, with the increased rate of fire. Essentially, the Double D became one of the default platforms for the Jagermech, making it a far more effective fighter at all ranges, and increased its damage output considerably back on the tabletop. In MechWarrior Online, the Double D is well renowned for its 6 ballistic hardpoints, all split between the arms, and a couple of energy hardpoints, and an AMS if you're so inclined. Basically, the 6 ballistic points make it the go-to ballistics dakka mech for anybody who is interested in running those kind of builds, and at one point it was popular for its triple AC2 builds, firing quite rapidly via macros. The triple AC2 Jagermech was, for a time, a blitzing mech that would just tear something apart before it ran out of ammunition, and was essentially a one-trick pony or a glass cannon. Which is how you could probably view the Jaeger. It was also probably the one, if not the S, then it was this variant that was used to create things like the terror that was the dual Gauss, or the horrendous monster that was the dual AC20. Those mechs have obviously since been long since replaced by other bigger, more damaging mechs, usually in the clan side of things these days. But regardless, in its day, the Jagermech was a very powerful Innisphere heavy that was used long before the clans arrived, and I think it was the first highlight of just how the customization in-game could create some monstrously powerful builds, sometimes to the point of player frustration on the forums that certain things would get changed. And as such, the Jagermech is popular with some of the old guard of MechWarrior, I guess you could say. For me personally, it's like any of the variants of the Jagermech. High-mounted hardpoints mean it's extremely good for sniping with ballistics. It has obviously a heavy emphasis on using these high mounts to make the best use of its cover, being able to hit targets and fall back into some kind of either protection from the map, or being able to fall back to friendlies and allow them to basically take most of the punishment and draw fire for you. A slight reduction in range for Ultra AC5s means that you have to get a tiny bit closer, but your damage output has increased massively. I don't mind the DD, it's the one I've kept, although it wasn't exactly the one that I ended up sort of, after doing this series, I came back to it and I thought, you know what, actually I like the A more. It's a bit more streamlined for me, it works better, and I can get a little bit more out of it damage-wise than I can with the DD. The main problem is running it in its stock weapons configuration is there really just isn't enough ammunition, unless you're willing to compromise a lot on speed or armour. Again, one of the Jagermech's biggest failings is the fact that the mech has to make a lot of compromises to become truly efficient in the role that it's intended for. Which is a problem because on tabletop it's not that big a deal. Your ammunition doesn't run out that quick because you're taking turns and obviously it's rolling dice. Whereas in MechWarrior Online, ammunition that sounds like a lot on tabletop actually runs out extremely quickly, and short of having to gut the mech and start fresh trying to figure out a better way of adding more ammo, you end up with a mech that can very quickly run out of bullets basically, and force you into using a couple of lasers, which isn't the best situation to be in. So it's a bit. I always found the Jagermech to be a bit of a tough sell, especially now with the Rifleman being available, which I think is actually a better mech than the Jaeger personally overall. The DD is definitely the best variant to pick if you want your dakka. However, it's incredibly effective in that role. 6 ballistic points is obviously nothing to sniff at. There's a lot of opportunity for customization in there of how you want to build it, from big heavy weapons platforms. I mean, I even remember there being 6 machine gun variants and everything in between, however you want to build it. Asymmetrical builds with 3 machine guns on one arm and ballistics on the other, like autocannons, or your dual Gauss, your dual AC-20, mixture of both. So yeah, it's really good at that. It's flexible in that respect, and it can be rebuilt into some pretty impressive little setups. So yeah, I'd recommend the Double D, but then I'd recommend the Jagermech anyway as a 65 tonner. It's not bad. I think it's, personally just for me, I think it's outclassed by the Rifleman. But with that, the round is near an end, and I believe my team is near an end. So I will leave you there. Thanks for watching. Again, if you want to see the other Jagermech video, the S variant gameplay, that is in my Battletech Innisphere Battle Mech playlist. And I will see you for the next chassis variant series. Have a good one, folks. And this is Critical Rocket signing out. Bye.
New target acquired. New target acquired. Right torso critical damage. Artillery strike. New target acquired. Right torso critical damage. Right torso critical damage. Left torso destroyed. Gauss ammo destroyed. Left arm destroyed. Left leg critical damage. New target acquired. New target acquired.